Welcome back here to Semple Stadium for the 1995 Munster Hurling Final. Thurles, the splendid backdrop, acknowledged far and wide as a superb hurling surface. The earlier noisy atmosphere in the town now clearly transferred to the ground for one of the showpiece occasions of the sporting year. The champions, hoping to play a champion part in the unfolding drama, are unchanged from the side that narrowly edged out Tip in the semi-final. This means that there are just two changes from last year's 15. Turlough Herbert, the left half back this afternoon, replaces Joe O'Connor, while Sean O'Neill comes in for Ger Hegarty. Declan Nash now plays at left corner back alongside his brother Mike, while Kieran Carey is in the pivotal half back position, thereby allowing team captain Mike Houlihan team up with Sean O'Neill. The Bannermen are certainly not slow about ringing the changes as they bid to make it third time lucky. Three changes from the team that started against Cork 5 weeks ago. Frank Lohan joins his brother Brian on the Clare full back line. He had been busy with exams prior to that match. Ollie Baker, the goal hero, starts in midfield alongside Fergal Hegarty, while top of the right is the grandson of a former Limerick legend, the late Jackie Parr. Today, Stephen McNamara starts a first Munster final. The key tie on this decider just has to be between Shawnee McMahon, Clare's centre half back, just about over a worrying shoulder injury, and Limerick's top scorer Gary Kirby, who scored 9 points when the teams clashed in last year's final. And the referee today is Johnny MacDonald from Tipperary, 41-year-old official, taking charge of his first Munster senior final, and it's Limerick who won the toss, opting to play with the wind at their backs in the first half from right to left. Straight away it's Liam Doyle. Good intervention here by Kieran Carey. Doyle battling back, but the referee says he fouled, and that's got to be a free to Clare, who've made some switches with Fergal Hegarty going to left half forward, and Jamesy O'Connor, not unexpectedly, is in midfield, and the two corner forwards have also switched wings. So Eamon Cregan, the atmosphere really is quite electric, and Limerick outnumber Clare supporters.
Yes, they do. There's a huge Limerick contingent here.
Nicely taken, dropped in well. Good opening chance here. Went off the stick in the end there of TJ Ryan. That huge free belted in there by the left half back Turlough Herbert. This the 106th Munster Hurling final and the 6th final involving Clare and Limerick, and of course Limerick with that 100% record so far. So a big day for both counties. Well caught there by Sean O'Neill, didn't get it away too well. Mike Houlihan misses his shot, and even the second time finally getting it forward as far as Mike Galligan, who had a field day last year in the Munster final. Today he can expect closer exchanges, I think. Brian Rowan clearing his lines. Well, that'll be a sideline ball. Both sets of players, not unnaturally, were very nervous in the dressing rooms before this match. Dave Clark today playing in an 8th championship match. He's had a busy last 18 months with club and inter-county activity. Beautifully caught up, delivered inside again, but just overhit, and nobody in the full forward line, Pat Heffernan in particular, able to make anything of it.
And that's the second wide now where neither the corner forward nor the full forward were able to get the ball. The corner forward's out too far, and I have a feeling with Limerick then with the wind, the corner forwards need to stay in more.
So against the breeze, David Fitzgerald pucking it out into his own half forward line, runs on down there towards Stephen McNamara. Nipping in is Steve McDonough. McDonough's clearance into space towards TJ Ryan. Gathered up well there against Frank Lohan. Lohan had a bit of a nightmare here against Kilkenny in the league final in the surface. Did well, however, when he came in against Cork in the second half in the semi-final. Galligan knocking it forward towards TJ Ryan. Referee says play on. Into open space towards Damien Quigley. Much expected of Quigley. Back down to Galligan it falls. Real stalemate situation. In the end, only broken up by the referee's whistle. And it's going to be a free out. Player was fouled as Liam Doyle from Bodyke. One of the few Clare success stories, I think, from last year's Munster final. He played corner back that day and acquitted himself really well. Well, full forward has been a problem position for Limerick in recent times. David Fitzgerald again down into the corner towards Stephen McNamara, but Steve McDonough has been winning the early tussles there. Appeals by Frankie Carroll, but it's going to be Clare's ball. Seemed to have gone off a Clare stick, I must say.
Yes, I think that was a wrong decision by the umpire.
The umpire across there is Ger Harrington, and the referee Johnny MacDonald has overruled the Cork official, and it's going to be Limerick's sideline cut. Once we get the ball back.
Interesting that they have line ball or ball boys down the side. There's a young boy throwing the ball there on the far side in blue.
And we'll see full equality in a few years' time. We'll have ball girls, I'm sure, as well.
I'm sure we will.
Taken down by Liam Doyle, but only enough to take the sting out of it. Feed it to Mike Galligan, who raises the first white flag. Galligan from Clahone, setting Limerick on their way, or at least they'd like to think so. Well, there was just a hint of a chance that they might have been able to get that ball away, but it was touched down there by Liam Doyle, and that's where Galligan was in there to profit.
Both sides are a bit nervous at the moment. It'll take them a while to settle down.
Ollie Baker fumbling. Comes across to Jamesy O'Connor. Kieran Carey comfortably under it. Fed inside toward the inside forward line once again. Magnificently high in the air by Michael O'Halloran. O'Halloran hand passing it to Doyle. In the early moments of this exchange to Shawty McMahon. How happy is he that shoulder has recovered sufficiently? That'll be interesting to see. The block down there off Conor Clancy's shot. Here he is again. A rumbustious full forward Clancy, hooked again by Mike Nash, and then it's Dave Clark who kicks it away, but only as far as the midfielder Ollie Baker. Baker unable to go on the left hand side. O'Loughlin and the Sparrow giving possession away. Out it comes towards the left half back, who is Anthony Daly, the team captain. Stephen McNamara trying to nudge it inside there. Limerick under severe pressure. This is PJ O'Connell, centre half forward, and he just had enough room to put it over the bar. He advanced well that time, and the Clare flags flying high and proudly here at Semple Stadium, and it's a point apiece. All that after some indecision in front of the Limerick goal.
Yes, indeed. Here was a ball. The ball should have been cleared. Declan Nash had it, lost possession. PJ O'Connell gets it. Mike Nash stops him, and then he makes space for himself and flicks the ball over. Good point for Clare.
Always reminds me of a Spanish violinist. PJ O'Connell has that kind of swagger in his play. Here he is again. An inviting ball forward there. Herbert going across, just trying to keep it away from his man, and his man does well. Fergie Tui, and that's going to the left, but kept in play by Steve McDonough towards Dave Clark, making sure it's kept away there from Stephen McNamara. And the referee's whistle has sounded. That's going to be a free out for Limerick. Some over-aggressive play, and it's heating up quite considerably, and the linesman Ger Harrington having to go in there just to try and defuse the situation. On the Clare bench, they've seen so much disappointment down the years, but today they're hoping it's the glory day at last. Since Clare last won a major honour, the National League, at the end of the 70s, they have lost 8 major finals between Munster Championship and League finals. Dave Clark, Ollie Baker gathering. The supply in low, runs on well. Gerald Loughlin, the Sparrow looking for another point, and Clare are in front. Gerald Loughlin goes back to top of the left. That's his first point, and Clare lead for the first time in the match. Just 7 minutes gone.
There's a badly hit free by Clark. Mike Houlihan wasn't ready for it. Clare got it up the field and over the bar. A good score for Clare against a very strong breeze.
It has to be a little bit worrying for Limerick, even at this early stage, that midfield isn't functioning as well as it might. Here's Shawny McMahon. And there was a little nudge in the back, quite clearly seen by the referee, by PJ O'Connell on his man.
Gary Kirby is coming out to take this. It's what, 90 yards out.
It's a bit ambitious even by his standards, but the breeze is behind him and blowing slightly away right of centre.
Yeah, the problem there is there's nobody gone in centre forward. Limerick are missing a centre forward, so Gary expects to put this ball over the bar or wide.
Rolls it up well. Struck in towards the square. Good goalkeeping by David Fitzgerald. Pressurised by Damien Quigley. And the pressure paying off because it's going to be a sideline ball. So from Limerick's point of view, bringing out Gary Kirby to take that wasn't a bad decision at all, because it now results in the pressure staying on them. It's Mike Gallagher who's going to take the sideline cut. Again, Liam Doyle coping with it well. Driving it off on his left-hand side. Ollie Baker in pursuit with Mike Houlihan. And once again, it's pressure on the Clare backs.
I have to query Michael Gallagher taking that sideline ball. He took the ball and his man cleared it. Like, he came out, and I think a centre-field man should have taken the ball, and Michael Gallagher should have gone into the forwards.
So the Limerick captain showing a bit of variation to Dave Clark. Touched on its way, and that's gone wide. So already 3 Limerick wides. Clare without a wide so far, and they have the lead, of course. Clare today hoping to bridge 63 years, a long, long time indeed, since their last win in Munster in 1932. Well, they were close, as I remember it last year, to Limerick for about 20 minutes in the first half, and then the gap widened quite considerably. Here's Anthony Daly, good block down. Limerick very much the favourites. Mike Houlihan knocked inside. This is Pat Heffernan sending in that shot and putting it over the bar. Well, that's a bit more like it from the Limerick inside forward line. And Pat Heffernan from Blackrock, the first of them to score.
It just shows how fast the game is, Jared. That the centre-back had plenty of time to clear it, and Gary Kirby got in and got his hook in and blocked it.
And here it is again. He was 45 metres out when he hit that shot. Accuracy personified, straight between the posts. Mike Houlihan trying to win the exchanges now at midfield. Dave Clark in there, nippy and quick, dashing forward, getting away from Ollie Baker, crossing the 45-metre line to Gallagher, who held on securely the shot to try and restore Limerick's lead, but he hasn't done so. And Limerick have a player injured on the ground on the 45-metre line, and the referee is speaking to Liam Doyle of Clare.
You'd wonder why he was speaking to the Clare player, you know. I know it was possibly a late tackle, but if it was a late tackle, then it's either a free or advantage, and in this case I think he gave the advantage.
Well, it's Dave Clark from Kilmallock who's down injured. We might just see it again here as he was racing forward. Made a lot of headway. Out
yes,
came
Doyle. The ball is well gone.
Late challenge.
Late challenge, yes.
Dave Clark, made of steel. Back he goes into the half-back line.
He's kind of dazed at the moment, though, Ger.
That went by Turlock Herbert. On to PJ O'Connell. Didn't get much length in his strike. Sean O'Neill is back there. Recovering well. And that's gone over the sideline. Clare's ball.
Again, Ger, I question the referee there. There was a push, definitely a push in the back, but he's letting the play flow.
Standard of play so far isn't exactly catching the imagination, I have to say. Yet to settle down. Jamesy O'Connor. That runs by Dave Turlock Herbert onto PJ O'Connell, and he's put it wide. Clare's first wide. Still 2 points apiece.
Yes, there's still a lot of tenseness there. The occasion is a little bit too much for him at the moment, and it'll be another few minutes before they get into the flow of the game.
Joe Quaid's puck out, wind assisted into the half-forward line. Jamesy O'Connor. We were playing at midfield in spite of the number 12 on his back. And this is the player who should have been at midfield, Fergal Hegarty. Hegarty advancing well. Oh, he's made a good 20 metres. Dave Clark trying to hook him. Still Hegarty, and Clark did really well. That's great skill. An object lesson, I think, for any youngsters watching this programme, not to give up, time the hook well, and that he did to perfection. O'Connell one-handed, trying to knock it forward. 3 Limerick players around him. One of them is Sean O'Neill. Inside towards Pat Heffernan once again. trying to get the measure of Brian Lowen. Some pushing. Referee says play on. Damien Quigley advancing with great purpose. Quigley! And a chance of the first goal, and he's put it wide. And the referee says it's going to be a free in any case. I don't think they heard the referee's whistle. It's going to be a free from the 20-metre line, and David Fitzgerald in real distress.
Yes, and the corner back is now. There's Quigley going through. Now watch the corner back here and the pull across the elbow. Look at that.
Yes, dangerous play, quite definitely.
David Fitzgerald comes out very well, and he crashes into his own man and is injured, and the ball has gone wide.
And Michael O'Halloran has had his name taken for that. So the booking confirmed. Really was a dangerous challenge there on David Fitzgerald, who's in considerable distress. So watch it from a different angle this time. It doesn't look any better this time. Quigley advancing well. And this was the hurl. He was lashed out very dangerously, and Quigley indeed collided with the goalkeeper.
He collided with the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper collided with the cornerback as well, and that's where he got the injury. Again, I'd have to query how many steps Damien Quigley took. I think he took about 5 or 6.
Well, he was pulled up for a goal in the Tipperary match. He'd taken 6 or 7 steps on that occasion. Here's Gary Kirby. That's gone off Brian Lowen's stick. It's collected by his brother Frank. It should have been a Limerick point put over the bar from the free. Instead, Clare get away, and it's still 2 points each. Anthony Daly. Those are perhaps the little breaks they're going to require if they're to engineer a victory here after all the barren years. Quigley again, certainly a thorn on the side of the Clare defence, in particular Michael O'Halloran, who has to be on his best behaviour now, being booked already. And the referee says bring it back here to the 20-metre line. Clare incensed, but Limerick get the free. And having missed a fairly simple one a little while ago, you can be sure that Gary Kirby will take extreme caution and concern over this one. And for not retreating fast enough for querying the decision, it's free from a more favourable position.
Yeah, I think Clare are getting a little bit upset over that.
And Gary Kirby taps it over the bar. His first point. And Limerick with the lead once again.
Yes, Quigley is causing problems in there. I think if Limerick keep the ball pumped into the corner here, that can cause a lot of problems for the Clare full back line.
Well, they were saying in Limerick during the week that Damien Quigley was due a good one. Turlock Herbert, and it's caught well by Fergie Toohey. Low ball down to the corner. McNamara too near the sideline. That's Declan Nash back there. Very tidy and effective player. Getting away from Conor Clancy. Shouldered, and I can tell you the linesman was indicating that it wasn't a fair shoulder. He had the flag up quickly, but the referee said no, it was a perfectly fairly executed shoulder to shoulder.
I think you have to be a mathematician today to know what a shoulder is.
I think somehow it's connected to my neck. This is Ollie Baker, the man who did the damage against Cork in the semi-final. He fluffs it. Toohey trying to get it back. Comes to Ollie Baker again, a more favourable angle, and that's a bad miss. Well, he's ruining his luck. And I can tell you several thousand Clare people are in complete empathy with him.
He's getting the better of the exchange with Michael Houlihan, though. Mike doesn't seem to be on form at the moment.
And of course, he had this disappointing performance also against Tipperary in the semi-final. Frankie Carroll under the stropping ball with Anthony Daly. Jamesy O'Connor on the sideline ball.
Yeah, the Limerick half forward line are in a bit of trouble. They're not dominating the game, and the Clare are winning a lot of ball at the half back line. Frankie isn't getting to the ball and isn't moving it fast enough, so on the far side Limerick are in trouble.
Here's Anthony Daly. Beautifully cut down towards PJ O'Connell. Kieran Carey hoping to dominate as usual that particular sector of the Limerick defence. So the face of Ollie Baker ready to take the sideline cut. The referee just wanting the other players back the requisite distance. Into the corner. towards Gerald Loughlin. And the master in that particular sector of the field has certainly been Steve McDonough. Sean McMahon rising up for it, drops it down. Gary Kirby trying to carry it on, supported by Frankie Carroll. Back goes McMahon once again. High challenge by Carroll, free out. A real flare up here. They're angry with the challenge there by Frankie Carroll. And Frankie being called across here by referee Johnny McDonnell. So we have another name going in the book for this challenge here, as Shawnee McMahon was coming out with possession, high and dangerous.
Yes, it was a dangerous tackle by Frankie. It is head high, and it's as simple as free for Clare, and that should have been the end of it.
Well, Ger Loughnane, who's done so well to give this side belief in themselves, and indeed he went on the record, of course, after the league final here against Kilkenny, as saying that Clare would win the Munster Championship. They didn't believe him, but they did it against Cork to get to this third final in a row. Limerick the leaders. Against the breeze, Anthony Daly dropping it in there towards the full forward. Conor Clancy. This is a good run, but one-handed, not causing any problems to Joe Quaid. Then running into a bit of a cul-de-sac, losing possession. Mike Nash whipping on it. That could have been so dangerous. Joe Quaid seemed to have it comfortably gathered.
Yes, it appears Limerick lack urgency around the field at the moment. Half forward line are not urgent enough. Full back line goalkeeper not urgent enough in clearing the ball.
There was a little worry, I can tell you, in the Limerick backroom team, that the team might not have been as well focused as they should have been, because having beaten Tipperary and having beaten Clare so easily last year, they were expected to win. And this is the full forward, I think, Conor Clancy, and they're preparing Eamon Taff. Taffo had a bit of a hamstring injury. Ger Loughnane with a word to his full forward. I think he's saying, if you're okay, back into business quickly. We're just under 15 minutes to go to the interval. Very low scoring Munster final so far. Sean O'Neill. Out as far as Frankie Carroll. It reaches Dave Clark. Hooked well by Gerald Loughlin. Sean O'Neill from Limerick adding to it towards Damien Quigley's corner, and he really has the beating of Michael O'Halloran so far. Taking it up neatly. O'Halloran in real trouble against this fellow. Good skills, tight control, and then there's Pat Fitzgerald to back him up. Back to Mike Galligan, going for the score. Just needs that amount of room, and he pops it over the bar. A second point for Mike Galligan. Well, he's not the kind of player who'll go in there and mix it all that much, but he's a stylish performer, and when it comes out to him, when he gets free chances, he'll take those scores with some ease.
There it is. Pat Heffernan gets the ball. He falls on his back, and beautiful hand pass over his head. Mike makes space and gets the ball just over him. Beautiful score.
Well, Gallagher had an easy time of it last year, scoring 7 points against the Clare defence. Here's Sean O'Neill exerting a greater influence now around midfield. Mike Galligan into space. Shawnee McMahon showing no real hint of the shoulder injury that caused him so much trouble in the semi-final. Frankie Carroll gets it back, and that's gone to the left. 5 wides for Limerick, 2 for Clare.
Do you know the worrying thing about this, Ger, is there's 22 minutes gone, and Limerick have the breeze, and they've only 4 points up on the board.
How strong a wind do you think it is?
It's extremely strong because it's blown directly down the field. But I think teams can play better against the breeze than with it.
PJ O'Connell missing his shot. One-handed forward by Turlough Herbert. Mike Galligan now. Knocked forward towards TJ Ryan. And Frankie Carroll has it. Frankie leading the charge of the Light Brigade. The shot, and it's over the bar. Everyone in the Limerick half-forward line has now scored. And Frankie Carroll extends Limerick's lead. It's only 5 points to 2, and there's a long way to go yet.
There's the ball. Frankie gets it now. He seems to go off at half speed, and there are 2 Clare men on him, and he pucks the ball. Beautiful score, but I would have thought that Clare should have hooked him.
It's a free to Clare, and Shawnee McMahon shaping up like he might be the one to take it. Remember the long-range frees against Kilkenny in the league final? He pointed 4 of those. Well, the rumour mongers before this match had a field day, suggesting that he wouldn't play and that there would be wholesale restructuring of the Clare team. But thankfully they are unchanged. The referee is down having a chat with one of his umpires and issuing a warning. Stephen McNamara and Dave Clark are the players he's been talking to. All concentration then for Shawty McMahon. One they need, it's going right however, and it remains 5 points to 2.
Yes, indeed. The game still hasn't settled down. There's a lot of bad hurling and some good hurling, but it still has to get going.
Clare will be marginally happier in that they're keeping it tight. Here's Gary Kirby, again getting some latitude. Normally a very good striker of the ball. That one has gone to the left. And Mike Galligan's on the ground with a facial injury.
There's a great re-raw going on in centre field. Sean O'Neill wants to mark Ollie Baker, but he's staying on Jamesy O'Connor. And Galligan got a ball. He doesn't. Did you see it, Ger?
Afraid not. Still a fair bit of re-raw and Ruila as you suggested midfield, but it's settled down now. Dave Clark under it. Kieran Carey just behind him to lend assistance. One-handed forward, Anthony Daly there. And the Clare captain winning the free.
Clare's tactic at the moment is to stop Kieran Carey from bursting forward, and so far they've succeeded in doing this. He's not able to get away like he got away against Tipperary.
This the 10th free of the match. Not any great length in it. Kieran Carey whipping it away. Jamesy O'Connor. Is it straight? It is. O'Connor puts it between the posts. His first point. Clare staying nicely in touch. They won't worry, I'm sure, about the standard of play if they can win after all the long barren years of failure. Clare making some further positional switches in their forward line as we follow the flight path of the ball. And McMahon has kicked it forward only as far as Gary Kirby to Mike Galligan. There's a goal chance here for Limerick. Clare back there quickly, closing him down. Sensing the danger, kicked away by Frank Lohan. Frankie Carroll taken up by TJ Ryan. Cross towards Damien Quigley. Quigley trying to get onto it, whipping it, not causing any problems for David Fitzgerald, however, stepping it away from the incoming Damien Quigley. It's taken up by Gerald Loughlin, now playing it left half forward with Fergal Hegarty gone in to top of the left. Steve McDonough, what a game he's playing for Limerick. Towards Frankie Carroll, he's outmarked however. Jamesy O'Connor, one of the two who was on him. Downfield to Stephen McNamara. This nephew of the great Kerry footballer Ger Parr and grandson of Jackie is on his way for Clare against Limerick inside here towards Conor Clancy. Stopped somehow, and that's gone wide, but it's going to be a penalty, I think. The referee deciding that it's a penalty after that great run through there, and David Fitzgerald may well be coming up to take it. Tony Considine, one of the selectors, is going out to have a word in the middle of the field with David Fitzgerald. I'm sure he's telling him to either go for a goal or a point. At this stage, they'd hardly bring him up from the goal if he wasn't going to go for a goal himself.
Where are the markings for the players on the field to stay outside? I don't see any markings. There's this semicircle.
There's none here. It's missing this afternoon. Well spotted.
It's strange for a goalie to take it, but it doesn't matter. I suppose if he scores, they'll be delighted.
Remember John Commons in the 1986 All-Ireland final? David Fitzgerald, here's the goal chance for him for Clare. He scored! 28 minutes into the first half, and now he's racing back, and the puck out's been taken. Will he win his race? Play continues. Fitzgerald's on his way, and Gary Kirby has been fouled by not one, by about 2 or 3 Clare players, I thought, and one of them has been called across.
Yes, Baker gave a full frontal attack on Gary.
It's nasty, and it's Ollie Baker who's getting his name taken. This is where David Fitzgerald was racing back. Gary Kirby had possession. What's for Baker coming across and fouling him there? looked ugly, and was. Well, he stays on, he's lucky. Ger Loughnane was in there quickly, I'm sure, just to tell him to take it easy. We need you on the park. But there's the goal scoring hero, an unlikely one at that, who's given Clare the lead by 1-3 to 5 points.
There's no smoothness in the game in either side today. Tis missed chances, broken ball, and there's no great movement in it.
Here's the equaliser, however, from Gary Kirby. Third time in the match, the teams have been level. There's a lack of fluency, a lack of pattern as well. No doubting the resolve and the energy put in by both teams, however. Mike Houlihan beaten in the air by Ollie Baker. Declan Nash, neat pick up. Faces another challenge, however. Taken away by Turlough Herbert, took it away from his own man. Down towards Pat Hegarty, broken down. Brian Lohan didn't get it away too far, only as far as Damien Quigley. Put under some considerable pressure by a couple of Clare backs. He plays on, Quigley's given an advantage. Stop with the goalkeeper, didn't come down nicely for Pat Heffernan, however. Again, well saved by David Fitzgerald. And that's going to be a free out. The cheers ringing around Semple Stadium from the Clare following up for this man here, for David Fitzgerald, a senior since 1990.
As he brought off two magnificent saves there. Saves that Clare had to save, really. Quigley shot one great ball in, he blocked it, ball came out, Heffernan hit another one, the ball was blocked again. Tremendous saves by David Fitzgerald.
Free taken against the breeze, of course. Down towards Ollie Baker. Didn't make a connection. It says Mike Houlihan, appreciating the urgency now of Limerick's need. In towards Pat Heffernan, runs in. David Fitzgerald reading the signals, fumbled. And that's going to be a 65.
Ger, at the start of the game I said that I felt the Limerick forwards are too far out. I can't understand why TJ Ryan is so far out and when the ball drops into the full forward line, because he's outside the full forward instead of being inside in case the ball broke inside. And 3 or 4 balls have gone wide on that particular side.
Truth is, he's been out of the match by and large. So the 65 to be taken by Gary Kirby. His 12 points against Tip included a penalty, a 65 and 7 ordinary frees. Where's this one going to end up? Over the bar! A third point for Gary Kirby, and the lead changing hands now for the 5th time.
Still, there's nearly 31 minutes gone, and Limerick are only 7 points and Clare are 1-3 against the breeze. That's a tremendous score for Clare.
Yes, Clare, I think, will be the happier, but they've been in happy positions in the past as well after a first half, and they haven't always gone on to justify the faith of their fans. Oh, that's a bad pass there by Liam Doyle. Straight to Damien Quigley, surely put this over. On to TJ Ryan, was running away from him. Did well initially, but then his touch let him down. Well, he's very annoyed.
As they say in rugby, he took the wrong option.
This is where Damien Quigley was stealing in here. The cover was very poor because they were expecting a decent hand pass from Liam Doyle. And that's where I thought TJ Ryan just might have it, but his first touch really left him down.
Yes. I think myself he should have taken his own score, because there were 2 Claremen there. There was a Limerick man, and then there was 2 on 2. So I think Quigley should have taken his own score.
Colin Flynn's in there alongside Ger Loughnane to attend to Liam Doyle, a hand injury. In terms of scoring chances so far, Limerick with 18 chances, and they've taken 7 of them. Clare have had only 8 chances, they've taken 4. That's some statistic. One of them, of course, a penalty. Turlough Herbert stays back, doesn't reach him. Whipped away instead by Mike Galligan, inside towards Damien Quigley. Runs on to Pat Heffernan. The corner forward's not running ahead, but it doesn't come for them. Instead it's Anthony Daly. Kieran Kerry trying to break it up. Trying to exert even greater influence around that sector of the field as we watch Stephen McNamara. Good run forward by McNamara. low inside, taken by Fergie Dewey, and the referee says he was fouled, and it's a free in. The foul committed there by Turlough Herbert from Mahon.
At the moment, I think Limerick are failing in a number of places. Turlough Herbert is in trouble at left half back. Frankie Carroll is in terrible trouble at right half forward. And Clare aren't taking advantage of those situations.
I suppose it's difficult from a Clare perspective. They've been near before, but never quite had the confidence to go the whole way. Jamesy O'Connor, the free seemed to have run away from, but he gathered it well. And that's his second point, and now the side's level for the fourth time in this Munster final. A minute to go to half-time. Liam Doyle comes away well towards Stephen McNamara, trying to get the better of Steve McDonough. Tui coming in quickly, stopped somehow. Wonderful save by Mike Nash, great dispossession, and Turlough Herbert reading the intentions, knocked it clear beyond Shawnee McMahon. Anthony Daly trying to gather it up. Here's Mike Galligan, stopped by Frank Lowen. Shawnee McMahon again, needing some assistance, but a bit slow to get in to help him. Liam Doyle instead, on his left-hand side. In these last few seconds, barring injury time of the first half, Dave Clark. On towards Mike Houlihan. Sides level, remember. Turlough Herbert. That's across there towards Frank Lowen. Seemed to be brushed aside by TJ Ryan. Referee says play on. Back down to Dave Clark. Keeping it away from the Sparrow, but only as far as Liam Doyle playing in a more central role as Mike Galligan moves into the centre. Fergie Dewey now crossing the 45-metre line, attracting Kieran Carey to him, trying to avoid the hook. Still Fergie Dewey having difficulty getting the shot in, but does so in the end, and he puts it over the bar, and Fergie Dewey has given Clare the lead. His first point. I'm sure they now believe that they're in with a right good chance, as indeed they are, with the whole of the second half still to come.
Yes, there was a high ball between the Toohey and Herbert. Herbert went up to try and catch with his hand. He's a half a foot smaller than Toohey.
And that's the end of the first half. Not classical hurling by any manner of means, but if you're a Limerick, or in particular if you're a Clare fan, you won't want to miss the remaining 35 minutes. David Fitzgerald gave Clare an invaluable step forward with a penalty goal 7 minutes from half-time, and it's the Clare following who are raising the flags proudly. They're delighted. It's Clare 1-5, 8 points, Limerick 7 points.